Joining us now, he sits on the House Oversight Committee and joining us. We do appreciate that, Congressman. Thank you. So, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker preparing to fight on the border policies that will be put in place by a second Trump administration with border czar Tom Homan. Your thoughts there?
Well, this is something that the American people have settled upon. 70% support mass deportations. They understand the dramatic and devastating effects on our communities of what's been happening with the Biden administration allowed to happen at our southern border. And President Trump is putting in people who are going to actually get the job done, who, we see it time and time again. So many people campaign on the big issues and then have very small actions. Well, President Trump's going to do what he said he was going to do. He's going to secure our border, and he's going to get our community safe again. And so you see the people coming in office, people like Tom Homan, who's going to do what needs to be done. And states should realize that we've seen the massive shift in our population, all the support that came out for these policies, that it behooved them to get on board with what needs to happen in our country.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sticking with the incoming Trump administration, the news of South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem being tapped as DHS Secretary. Did you have a comment on that choice by Donald Trump?
President Trump is doing exactly what he said he would do. It's been kind of funny to see people shocked and surprised, and I think really the only shock and surprise is you see somebody who ran for office who is doing what he said he was going to do. And so you see him putting people in office who have the right kind of experience in government, but aren't the kind of people who bought in and have made their way and political livelihood on going along to get along within the swamp. They're people who have been reformists, who are serious about doing the work, and what we see happening with Kristi Noem, with Tom Homan, with others who are involved in the cabinet picks and the selections that President Trump are making. These are people who are going to take the work seriously and work on behalf of the American people.
I wanted to bring DEI up with you, sir. Back in June, you and Senator J.D. Vance introducing a bill to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI programs in federal government. And here's your announcement here. But this was obviously before Vance was chosen as Trump's running mate and now VP-elect Vance. Republicans have control of the House. They have control of the White House, having control of the Senate. Is this all a sure thing?
Well, nothing's a sure thing when it gets done, until it's done, obviously. But this will be coming to committee next week in the Oversight Committee. We're excited to see that happening. This is something, again, the American people have evaluated. Companies are now saying, these are three nice words maybe, but they don't mean what you think they mean. And even companies that embraced and begin to push that are saying, the American people aren't buying it. This isn't the dream that Martin Luther King talked about. It's nice words covering something that's very malicious and evil in our country, and it needs to be pushed back on. So this bill would get that out of our federal government. It would also stop the grant writing process where the federal government was working to initiate these kind of policies and to force feed it on our businesses and people doing business with the federal government. And so it's pretty comprehensive. It needs to happen to make sure that we don't just have a reprieve over the next couple of years, but we make sure we lay this issue to rest and make sure that this federal government gets back to honoring merit, honoring hard work.
Sure.
And that's what this really is all about.
Yeah. Also, not to exclude anyone based on characteristics we have no control over. That being
exactly.
Your race
being
or
judged
sex.
by the content of our character, by our work ethic.
Absolutely.
That's really what it's all about.
All right. Well, best of luck with you there. We'll follow it, see how it progresses. Texas Congressman Michael Cloud, thanks for coming on today.
Sure thing. God bless y'all.
Thank you. You too.